In this video, we're going to go over the very first phase of creating your digital product, and that's the ideation or the idea generation phase. Ideation is so important so that you know exactly what it is that you're trying to create and then what kind of digital product you want to create. So, this is where you start. Ideation is the very first step that you take, even if you already have an idea of what you want to do. You still want to go through this process to make sure that you're creating something that other people will buy. And not only that, you want to make something that you're going to be interested in continuing to develop and then finally sell. So I'm going to go over a few examples of digital products, and then I'm going to give you 3 or 4 ways to come up with ideas that'll really help you dial in to the type of digital product that you want to create. Okay, let's get started. So, what are digital products? Digital products are sold electronically over the internet through an online shopping cart. They're not like physical products where you'd have to package them up and ship them and worry about postage. They're not anything like you would get from Amazon.com. Instead, they're delivered to your email address or you download them from the cloud. For example, if you're familiar with Etsy, you know that you can buy physical handmade products, but you can also buy digital products like wedding invitations, templates, and printables where the sellers delivered them to you as a digital download. So those are digital products. So here are a few examples of digital products that you can create. I just wanted to show you a variety so that you can kind of think outside of the box. So this is all part of the ideation process. And there are many, many more types of digital products you can create, but these are a few to get you started. So they're ebooks, templates, a podcast, online courses, a webinar series, digital music loops, very, very popular, digital files like plugins, newsletter. You can create apps or software. And just one thing about the digital files that I have listed here, these are very, very popular. And they are made by people who use certain types of software like Adobe Photoshop if you're a photographer. You can create presets for that. Same if you use some of the other Adobe software apps. Procreate brushes if you're a digital artist and you use Procreate. If you're a blogger, you probably use WordPress and you probably have plugins. So people created those plugins, and so those are digital products as well. And also, if you do a lot of work on Canva, you probably see a lot of fonts. So if you're good at creating fonts, that's another type of digital product you can create. So there are a variety of types of digital products you can create. And to understand those is all part of the ideation process. So now let's look at why you would want to create a digital product. When you create a digital product, you make it once and then you sell it over and over again. So it's not like if you were to make a pie to sell, you would have to go to the store, get the ingredients, bring the ingredients home, put them all together, bake it, package it, and then sell it, right? If you wanted to make another pie, you have to do that all again. You have to go back to the store, you got to get more ingredients, you have to bake it and sell it. But when you create a digital product, you make it one time. You go to the store one time and that's it. You sell it. That's it. You don't have to do it again. There's no extra cost to sell it again like it would be for a pie. You don't have to rebuy the ingredients. Everything is all profit. There will be a few, depending on where you sell it, there'll possibly be a few transaction fees, or depending on how you deliver it, there may be some fees that you have to pay for that. But there's no cost to creating that document, creating that course, or creating the app that you're making and selling it again. You can also sell it and deliver it automatically while you sleep. Now, if you made that pie, you're going to have to take it somewhere. You have to wake up and take it, right? You can't be asleep and deliver that pie. So you're going to have to get up and mail it, ship it, or drive it over to wherever it needs to go. But with your digital product, you can sleep and it's going to be delivered to your customers automatically. Now, I mentioned that there are some transaction fees. So they're typical costs, but they're always free options. So, for example, if you're to make your product on Canva, you may pay a monthly fee. I think it's about $12 or $13, something like that. You may have to pay for video editing software if you're going to create an online course. If you're going to do a podcast, you may have to buy some audio editing software or pay monthly for it. You may have to pay for course hosting. If you're going to make an online course, you'll have to do that. And then if you're going to have a podcast, you may have to pay for podcast hosting as well. There will be fees, but it's not going to be to create it. You're going to create it once and you're going to be able to sell it over and over again. You're not going to have to keep paying to do it over and over. All right. I just want to say this as a public service announcement. Make sure you have a computer. A lot of the software that you're going to need to create or sell your product, it needs to be used on a computer. And I know a lot of you only have iPads or phones, but if you want to really create something that's really valuable and really, really good, you're going to have to use a computer. Now, you can still create your product without having a computer, but having one is going to make it much easier for you and it's going to give you many more options. So you may have one in the corner that you haven't turned on in a few years. Go turn it on and see if it works. Get someone to help. Get your grandkids to help. Get someone from the college to help you to get it up and running. But it will be important to use a computer. Now, again, it depends. And again, this is all part of the ideation process, but you can do it on your iPad or your tablet, but it will be much easier if you get it done on a computer. Just a little tip for you. All right, now let's get into the ideation stage here. And we're going to talk about how to come up with ideas for digital products that you can sell online. And the first thing you want to do is ask yourself, what do people ask you about over and over again? What do they want to know from you? And I want you to think about people like family and friends, your work colleagues, customers, strangers, people on the internet. There's probably something that they always notice you do that they want to know how to do, or they just keep asking you over and over. Maybe they like your clothes and they ask you, where do you buy your clothes, or why do you look so stylish? Maybe they like your hair. Maybe they like your, the way that you organize your kitchen. Maybe they like at work, maybe they like the way you organize your projects and why do you get them done so fast? Or if you're a teacher, maybe they just love how beautiful your classroom is. Depending on what your background is, think about what do people ask you about over and over again. When you understand that, or when you see patterns, then this becomes a clue for something that you can package up as a product because it's already aligned with what people already want to know. So you already have like customers built in because they're asking you about this already. And imagine, remember I told you earlier, when you create a digital product, you create it once and you sell it once. So now you package this up and now you can sell it to all the people who are asking you about it. But that's the point about digital products. You create once, sell it multiple times, but you want to make sure that it's something that people actually want to buy and it's something that people are asking about. The second question you want to ask yourself is, what are you passionate about? So I want you to think about your hobbies, work skills, the talents you have, or even the places that you like to travel to. You want to work on question 1 and 2 together because you do want to find things that other people are passionate about that are similar to yours. You don't want to just go off on your own and come up with something obscure that you've made up that nobody's ever heard of. But more than likely, that's not ever going to be the case. People have heard about everything. There's really nothing new. But you really want to think about things that you will be able to actually sell because people know about it or they find out about it. But I'm going to say that with a caveat because if you're excited about it and you're excited to share it with other people, that's going to give whatever it is that you create momentum and attract people to it. So it kind of ignore what I just said about not doing anything obscure, because imagine all these inventions that we have were new ideas that other people never heard of, and they caught on. But you do want to think about question 1 and 2 together. Pick something that you're passionate about, a hobby that you love, your work, skills or talents that you have, places you like to travel, thinking along those terms, but also try to put it together with what do people actually ask you about? That'll help you come up with an idea that has a market, but also that's something that you're going to love to do. Now, for question 3, I want you to consider what's missing. What gaps do you see? What's something that you think could help people who are struggling or you wish existed in your home, community, or just in general? So I'm going to give you an example. There is a young lady on Facebook that I see her ad all the time. It's a meal prep planner for busy moms who struggle with meal planning every week. I struggle with meal planning, so I guess that's why this ad is being shown to me by Facebook. But what she has in this in this planner is all the meals for the whole month, the shopping list, everything that a busy mom needs to have on hand so that she doesn't have to worry about meals for her family. And if I'm not mistaken, it's not for one person. It's for like a family with kids. So she's thought out what kind of meals will the kids like, how much, what you can eat every day and to use for leftovers. So she planned it all out in this planner because she was struggling with that. She couldn't find it. She couldn't find, or she probably thought, I wish that so and so existed. So she made it herself. It's a digital product that you pay for and you download. So that's what I mean when you think about what's missing or what gaps do you see? What's something that you either repeatedly do over and over again and people say, well, how do you do that? What is it that you struggle with that you said, I wish there was this thing available to help me? Or what do you think that may help other people because you see them struggling over? And that's a really good start for a product that you may be able to create. All right. And finally, look through your stuff. Look at your emails, your social media posts, journals, notebooks. Look at your text messages. If you have any blog posts, videos, photos, what are you capturing or writing about all the time? Those are probably your interests, or they may not be your interest, but there's something there that's important to you. Are you giving advice over and over again? Are you sharing certain information that you like? In some cases, you may be the one who's always finding information for your family members because they need help and they're like, well, what do I do? And then you go and Google it. And now you become the Googler of your family and you're always pulling in information. You're curating a lot of stuff for people. So just look through your stuff and see what it is that you're constantly emailing people about, posting about, what's in your notebooks. See what it is that you are always writing about and see if there's something in there that can spark an idea for you. Again, you want to think about what people ask you about. That's part of this. It could be part of this, right? What are you passionate about? Maybe you're looking for coupons. That's a good one. If you're always looking for coupons and you just see coupons in your email and coupons in your text messages, what's missing? Maybe because you're always looking for coupons, you wish that there was a way that you can easily find all the coupons, or there was a way that you can store all the coupons digitally, or there was a way that you could teach people to be extreme couponers, right? So there's like clues to what it is that you can possibly make as a project in the stuff that you already have. If you're a writer, you probably have articles, maybe you write poems, maybe you write stories, maybe you just love taking notes. So look through all of that and see if there's anything that you can come up with. Now, after you've gone through the last 4 questions, what do people ask you about? What are you passionate about? What's missing? And looking through your stuff, I want you to make a mind map. And this is just a way to help you kind of put some structure to all your ideas so you don't just have it listed in a Word doc or something. You need a little bit of structure to it. So use a mind map. Your digital product goes in the middle. You can give it a name if you already know what it is, or just write my digital product. And for each question, I want you to just come up with 3 ideas for those questions. And that's it. Just come up with 3 ideas for each question. What you'll have is about 12 different ideas for you to choose from. Those 12 ideas, maybe you see patterns between the 12, and then there's going to be one that sticks out because it's something that people always ask you about, and it's something that you love, and maybe you talk about it all the time, or maybe there's just something here that you feel that there's a big need that people are always asking me about, and I think I know how to solve that problem. So I think that I'll stick with one of these. But for now, you just want to get this as part of this ideation phase. Just get it all down, get it out of your head. That's the most important. And then that's when you can begin picking which one that you want to focus on, which digital product you want to focus on. And then the next stage, which is content creation, is when you start creating the content for the product that you came up with in this step. Now, if you want all of the other phases, so this is the first phase, there's a total of 7, or you're not sure about exactly what digital product you can create, even if you've gone through this, maybe you still don't know what type of product to create, you can take the second act quiz that I've created. You can find the link down below, and it will ask you a few questions, and it will recommend a product for you. And not only will it recommend the product for you, it will give you a roadmap of all 7 phases of what you could do in each of those phases for the product that it recommends for you. Just sign up at the link below and you'll be able to access the quiz. So thank you for listening, and stay tuned for the next video, which will be about the content creation phase and how you create content for your digital product.